Hey man, welcome to Between the Lines. If you know what that means. Uh wow, we got some good news today. Um,
Lots of news. Probably too much news.
yeah, probably too much news, really. But okay, so the Army Navy game. How many people remember the Army Navy game? It's a thing that happens every year. I don't watch football anymore, but I used to be into it. But hey, if you like to, whatever. So the people that would normally get the hotels for the Army Navy game have been notified that their hotel room has been canceled, and they're like wondering what's going on here. So what they're doing, if you read these articles, this one is from CBS News, so part of the apparatus that's the problem in this country. But they're saying that they're providing these rooms for migrants. Okay, they're calling the invaders migrants. They're invaders, guys. They're invaders. Stop calling them immigrants. Stop calling them migrants. They're invaders. They're being sent here. This is the same crap that happened in Europe. They were invaded. All this stuff is orchestrated. Okay, it's all part of the Great Reset that these idiots they're putting in place. And the thing is, our own government is funding it. Okay, they're giving these people money, and they're paying for their hotel room, and they're paying more for the hotel room than the normal patrons of the United States would pay for them, and that's why they're canceling it. So these hotels are basically cutting their own throats in the long run, because we won't forget, I can tell you that. But that's going on. We're going to put the links below so you guys can read like the full stories. But this is happening, okay? We're going to go right back to what I said the last video. America, you're not ready for this, all right? You're sitting on your ass, on your couch, thinking you're going to run to Kroger whenever you need to grab whatever. And I can tell you right now, that shit ain't going to happen in the near future, all right? And, I want to say that I'm one of the few that believes that, but I found this too, and I was like, this is good and bad. It's a double-edged sword. So 6,200 Americans were surveyed, and 71.2% of those people have no confidence in the government fixing some sort of catastrophic event, which, come on, man. Duh. They can't fix anything. All right? They're the problem 99% of the time. You got to rely on yourself and your neighbor and your family. And I would say, if I put it in order, it would be you rely on yourself and your family and your neighbors. And then, of course, God.
But they're going to save you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. They're going to save you. So here's five states that had the least confidence in the government. Arizona, I could understand. They're right on the border. I mean, they had to come up with some of the most draconian immigration laws. But it's not immigration, guys. Again, it's an invasion, okay, from multiple countries. This isn't about Mexico. This is about an invasion from multiple companies or countries. That's being funded by the UN and, our favorite people like Soros and all those other idiots. So Arizona and Kansas and Alabama and Pennsylvania and Oregon were some of the top ones that didn't trust Big Brother. So apparently they've read a history book, however much of that's true, because we don't know, because the victors decide what history is going to be. So again, America, are you ready? You're not. I can tell you right now, you're not. Most of you are not ready. Get in shape, figure it out, get your head out of your ass. Gina?
Yeah. Klaus Schwab.
Piece of shit.
He's announcing the end of car ownership.
And he still walks the streets somehow. How does he walk the streets, America? Well, not here, but how does he still walk?
He's saying we'll use an app like Uber, but not anymore to call a driver, that it's a self-driving car that will be picking us up at our hotel or wherever we're at.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen by 2030. There will be no private cars, and highways are going to become parks. We're going to have long strips of parks, evidently.
Well, I mean, is Indiana already doing that? Hell, we're basically tearing up every bridge we have. I don't know if you guys are from Indiana, but try to drive around these major highways. Somehow they decided they're going to tear out multiple bridges at the same time.
How do you make all roads parks, though? It doesn't even.
Well, I mean, how does anybody listen to that guy at a meeting? He walks out of there.
Well,
There used
how
to be
many people
thing where you'd like hang people.
don't
like
know
that.
what the World Economic Forum is.
Oh, I know.
There's a
I
whole
ran into
website on it. You can go find tons of
WEF. Read
information.
what these guys are saying. Just go watch the videos. I mean, it's a lot faster to watch the videos and be blown away. And you can laugh about it. You can go, "Oh, that's never going to happen." Guys, they're making this policy. This is what's going on. It's happening. Okay. It's happening. If it's not happening in your little bitty town because you're not seeing it yet, trust me, it's going on. It's happening.
And you have to look a little deeper than the front page of the website because they make it sound good, like parks, sustainable living,
yeah, right,
words like that. But when you dive
migrants,
in deeper,
they call invaders
just,
migrants.
When you dive in deeper, it's just about control. It's controlling you, controlling the citizens.
Yeah, that's not freedom, guys. Not even close. We're not free, anyways. Let's get real. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt today.
Target stock officially erased $30 billion in market value in 6 months. Said theft losses. The stock is down 60% from its all-time high and 36% over the last 6 months. In May, Target said they expect $1.3 billion in losses due to theft. In August, Target said stores saw a 120% increase in theft involving violence the first 5 months of 2023. And then 2 weeks ago, Target closed multiple stores, New York, San Francisco, due to violence and theft. My thoughts, though, it's their woke policies. They're lying. It's not the theft. It's their woke policies. Bud Light's playbook, their satanic children's clothing, and their transgender swimsuit displays that they put in front of their store. It's not theft. This is where their losses are from. And
who made them do it? Their major stockholders, which is, again, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. So, again, if you're 401ks in that, you're funding your own demise, and you need to get your money out of that. And a lot of the 401ks are in that because those guys have accumulated all the major stocks in all the companies. They're the ones that are implementing these programs. Larry Fink said so, that they're going to have to force behaviors. These are the guys that are actually running everything. They're have more money than the U.S. government. It's a fact. Go ahead.
And then I wanted to talk a little bit about real estate. So we have the U.S. mortgage rates surpassing 8% this week for the first time in more than 23 years. And applications for home purchases tumbled to a multi-decade low. So if you're selling a home in this market, the homes are getting less affordable for buyers. So you need to understand that you probably need to be working to reduce your home a little bit and to do some negotiating with the buyer. We've had sellers not having to really negotiate a lot or fix a lot the last few years, but now it's going the other way around. So you're going to have to do some negotiating and some repairs. If you're selling in this market, or I'm sorry, if you're buying in this market, probably should get your rate locked in as soon as you can. Find something, get that rate locked in. Maybe plan to refi later. Note there is some negotiating that you can do with the seller to help you get into a home. And many realtors might not know this or even think about it, but you could do things such as buy down points. You could ask the seller to help you do that. You could borrow. You could ask them to pay for fees for the borrow that pays the mortgage lender in order to trim the interest rate on the loan. Does that make sense how I said that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when they talk to their loan officer, they can explain that to them as well.
Basically, you're asking them to buy down points.
Right.
That's just fees you pay. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's some negotiating things you can do there as a buyer to ask the seller to help you with so that you can afford to get into that home. And then the seller's just going to have to realize they're going to have to work with you to get you in that home. You could also do concession from seller to buy out monthly mortgage insurance. You could do some of that. What about put forth a smaller down payment or transition some of your current home equity and instead use some of those funds to pay off your non-mortgage high monthly debts, which could actually save you thousands of dollars each month, depending on how much debt you have, True. Which at this point you probably should be paying down your debt anyway.
Yeah, for sure. You should try to get rid of it as much as you can.
I feel like I got really twist tied and all that.
I mean, the idea's there, and they go to their lender and talk about these ideas, and obviously we all have access to the internet. You can look it up,
Yeah,
and kind of dial it in for yourself, and then talk to your people.
and then I wanted to talk about African countries used as testing grounds for vaccination-linked biometric identity programs.
Yeah, seems like they're always beating the hell out of those people.
Of course, the United Nations involved.
Oh,
they intend
same guys.
to use the biometric data to track vaccinations for birth and tie them to individuals' legal identities. NEC is a multinational Japanese electronics company which specializes in biometric technologies such as iris scanners, facial recognition, and fingerprint readers. The company has partnered with Gavi or GAVI and a UN-sponsored vaccination body to collect biometric data from newborn infants.
Those things need to be destroyed, like basically as soon as they get on the market.
They're then used to track their vaccinations, of course.
Yeah, that's just get rid of them immediately. Don't even let it play out.
Gavi is also funded by the World Health Organization.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill and Melinda Gates.
Oh, big surprise. Bill's still out there.
One of their Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 16, aims to register all children under 5 with legal identities.
That sounds like freedom.
They began their pilot testing program in Ghana that immediately registered the biometric data of every newborn at birth. Infants' fingerprints are scanned, as are the voices of their parents or caregivers. These data are collected to track each child's malaria vaccinations, but are now being used to create digital identities, which will also be used to benefit from public services. So you're going to benefit again, or for your safety.
Hey, benefits aren't rights, by the way.
They're overuse of words.
People give up their rights for benefits, and benefits can be taken or changed at any point. And rights, you concede and give those away, and that's what we don't understand. The Social Security benefits, and I know a lot of people are sold on that because it was implemented basically when my grandfather was young. He said it would never last. It's just another control mechanism. It switches again your rights to benefits, and you really don't want any part of it. And we have to start backing out of all that. And they're going to continue pushing hard, because they want total control. Because they're fueled by just some sort of evil force, and that's just the fact of the matter.
And this is a testing program, so the goal is to bring it here.
Yeah, they've done a third world country where they got more control over people. And well, I say that, and look at the United States. Look how everybody folded over the last couple of years. Pretty disgusting.
I love this. It's to support early childhood vaccinations as part of a broader effort to provide legal identity to newborns and enable their identities to be safely authenticated.
Yeah, it's called early demise is what that's called. They want to make sure they get them good and sick early on.
It ensures correct vaccine delivery by establishing the child's place of birth and caregiver relationship. It can also be used to assign national identity and used for the delivery of other public services like for health and education. So if you don't have all your vaccines, you're not getting your education or your health. I'm sure
the state's not going to teach you how to think. Damn, that would be terrible. Go under a little system and have them tell you how to think.
By the way, we were already up to 72 childhood vaccinations, and then they just put in COVID and RSV. So how many are we up to now? I mean, when do we use our brains insanity. And think injecting our children with all these is not a good idea?
Well, I think what people, because you don't see, you do see it with SIDS, but you don't see this automatic, people falling over, or do you?
We do.
Well, what I'm saying, the kids, you're just not seeing them fall over.
It's SIDS. It's at night when they're asleep.
Right, but that's caused by something completely different. It's not all the shit that just shoved in them.
No, most of them are right after a vaccination within so many hours or days.
That's a conspiracy theory.
You got to look into it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you need all that stuff in you. It makes sense, right? Just put all that stuff in you and trust Big Brother again because they know what's best.
Because our immune systems don't work.
Yeah, that's true. Our immune systems don't work.
God gave them to us and they failed.
And we know better, and we're going to do this for you, right? We're going to GMO your ass.
And then the last thing I thought you might want to touch on, diabetes. If you
Oh,
have diabetes,
from
is it a carbohydrate consumption issue?
100%. I say 100%. There's exceptions. I mean, there's a super small percentage of the population that has some sort of mutation, and I don't know if that was because maybe something mom was lacking when they were in utero or what the deal is, but yeah, carbs. There's these crops that we have around here. Everybody thinks they need all this grains and pounded down sugar and high fructose corn syrup. I mean, that is total trash, and it causes diabetes. And now, they're actually calling Alzheimer's diabetes of the brain, and that's something that's they're kind of discovering now, and maybe something you should be looking into if you have starting to have cognitive issues. Which, oddly enough, the last couple of years, lots of people have been having cognitive issues, brain fog, and I'm definitely one of them. So, maybe it's what we've been exposed to recently, or whether it's, what they're spraying on the food or what actually got exposed to that, that piece of shit Gates made with all of his other compadres that went along with that. I don't know, but something happened to a lot of folks. But carbohydrates, man, they can be the devil for sure. And eating a loaf of bread and tons of pasta and
toast for breakfast, sandwich with bread for lunch, and French fries, and
even oatmeal. I mean, it can be way too much. You're spiking your blood sugar and making your pancreas work its ass off.
Plus, we eat too much. We get up and eat breakfast, and then we think we have to have a snack, and then we have lunch, and then we think we need another snack or chips in the middle of the day, and then so our insulin's always up.
Then if you're drinking Cokes and stuff, I mean, you're just beating the shit out of yourself. Anything that spikes insulin wears your pancreas out and creates insulin sensitivity. And I can tell you, like, I'm going to go back to this guy. You'll hear it as we do videos. Dr. Berg on YouTube. I mean, he doesn't need subscribers. He's got tons of them. But if you got something going on, put his name in and type it in, because this dude breaks stuff down to a really basic level and is very helpful. And he will definitely cover type 2 diabetes. And, I mean, it's skyrocketing. Look at the kids now. I mean, kids are chubby.
Are all his videos still up? They were censoring him.
Oh, yeah, they were censoring him. I don't know. Last I looked, it seemed like they were still there. But I think that's plenty. And what's the good news? The good news is that maybe you're going to learn something and you're going to figure out that maybe you need to change your direction. Okay, that's the good news. And maybe when you see the quote unquote news, hopefully you're not even watching it. I guess I watch it for entertainment purposes, and very seldom because I either laugh or I get really pissed off. But just be the line, man.